So the video today is going to be pretty cool. We're going to be adding oil. So we got this one right here. Castrol's pretty cool. If you'd like something better or whatever, let's hear it. I'm down. So my engine needs 5W, but I'm going to be using 10. And yeah, I mean, it's just, since it is a used engine that's rebuilt, we're going to go high mileage over to 75K. It has the check engine light. We're doing stuff with that, figuring that out because it's the new engine. Still takes time to figure out these things, so this will help too. And we're gonna, the manual calls for about 4.2 to 4.5. I've heard people using 4 too, so we will double check that. So basically I came to the conclusion that since I'm going to be having to constantly keep an eye on this oil and it's going to be constantly drinking oil, I'm going to have to just keep on adding to it. So I'm not going to set like an exact 4.2, 4.5 and measure it and everything. I'm just going to get it in between the two hash marks, so the two dimples or whatever, and the low and fill. There's a fill and there's hashes too, and a full. So I'll get it in between those two and let it sit, do another round, check it. And so as long as it's just not a quart over, if it's not a quart over, we're good. So or half a quart over. But yeah, that's gonna be tough. So yeah, that's a lot. So let's get that, head out there. So let's say you're going to go pop up your hood as your first step. So you're gonna open up your car, right, and just go straight to the floor. And it's going to be this. Usually it's here, or sometimes it'll be even here. But most of the case, it's right up here. So you're going to take this and pull down, or pull towards you, or pull up. Right? Those are most of the places that this is. So that's going to make a thing, and you step out. You're going to come to the front. And there's usually going to be a spot like this, or some indentation usually. And you're just looking for that. So as the hood is down, you're going to be looking for that. And then you're just going to put your finger in, find that thing, push the hood up, and get it up. That's how it'll usually look. You'll look at the car like, oh, where's the dent? And you'll be like, oh, that might be one of them. And you can look at it from different angles while you're looking at it. And you're going to say, that's where I'm going to put my finger in. So you'll get in here, get one of your fingers up in there, and then you're going to go plop it up. Usually, if it doesn't stay up on its own. And then you want to double check it, see if that's insecure before you put your head in there. And then let's say you have the ones that are automatic but they're not staying up. You can just either put a broomstick down on something, find something right there. You can use that little part of that frame, and stick it up or whatever you can. So that's our dipstick right there. That's where going to be our oil is. This will be everything else. That's just suspension and all stuff we'll go over later. But yeah, so just focus on this one right now, the oil one. So that one's gonna come out and be pretty long. And then we're gonna stick that out and we step this out as far as we can, and then we'll check that and measure it. Let's see. Set that down, see if it's even got anything in it. Okay. Yeah, see, bone dry. Not a good sign there. So there's nothing even to wipe off. We could check the color at least, but literally it's bone dry. So we know we're going to be adding at least 4 quarts, or this 4.5, whatever. So you'll look for this, right? Usually this is nice to have a freaking funnel, right? But sometimes you're not. This will be really hot usually too. So be careful with that if you're going to be filling up at gas stations or something. If you ever check this, I'd recommend checking this at gas stations and stuff. I already took the thing off of my thing, so it's a really interesting way to pour these. And it's so interesting, in fact, that I can't do it with the phone in my hand. So every time you pour these, it's sort of like your first time, but you kind of want to just tilt it also. Let's mix it up actually before I get it in there. Just give it a shake. See if we can pour that in there without spilling too much. spilt a bit. You know, just pour that. See where we're at. Now it's a little bit confusing, you know, because I put in about 3 quarts, right? So I put my napkins, I refilled it up or whatever, and so it says it was 5 quarts on the label, but when I was reading it, I thought it was more like 4. And then right now it's like down to 2. So either way, I've only put in like 3 or 2 quarts, and it's already reading full. So I'm not sure if there was like, I'm not on a hill or anything, so there's not like any oil hidden, but it's saying it's reading full, and I've only put in 3 quarts when 2 or 3 quarts when it said it needed 5. So we'll wait, maybe start in the morning or start in a few hours and wait for the oil to cycle through. There might be some oil that was in the oil filter, like half a quart or something, but you know, it's still, I don't know, maybe there was a quart in the oil filter, maybe that's why it's reading full, and 3 quarts would make it 4. So we'll check in a bit, and we'll start it in the morning, see how it is in the morning. But let me show you how the oil dipstick looks. So it's pretty much, oops. So you have your, remember we were saying the bottom hole, oops. There's the bottom hole and the top one. And so it's just your ad, and sometimes there'll be dashes or something too, you know? And we'll put that back in and get some light. And check it out. And it's about, yeah, so I don't know why it looks all patchy like that either, but cool. So in the middle of the dashes, so we'll check it again and see, maybe because we just pulled out the dipstick and cleaned it or wrapped it in, so we'll leave the dipstick in longer. I forgot I had flash on my own phone. Thanks you guys for this YouTube idea. For real, fuck it up, because now I can use my flash for once while recording. Well, you can't even see it, this flash is so damn bright. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna have to let it sit for longer, so we'll just put some of the other stuff on. I don't really know if it's gonna all head to the bottom or something. And we'll put cover for that over here. So just recover our stuff, clean up any mess. You can see the mess I made over here ain't too nice. But, you know, this all gets burned off, you know, with it so being so hot up here. This really does end up just getting burned off. It's gonna smell, it will. But, you know, it's not gonna cause any harm. You do want to clean it though, because all this oil on here keeps the engine, you know, you want to keep it cool. Okay. Clean as much as if you can. And then put your cover back on. Check and see if that's nice and clean. Now go on. Ooh, I'm loving the flash on this thing. Wow, this was not pretty. We're gonna have to clean that up and clean this whole thing out just so that doesn't bleach. I'm pretty sure it won't, but I don't want it to bleach anyway, because that's gonna be a hard cover to find. Alright, so we're just gonna spray this down right here. Oops, I grabbed the one that's broken. No way. Hold on. Sick. Alright, well, it's just soap and water. It doesn't need to be sprayed. We'll just have it pour on like that and such. And we'll just throw a little bit on there and have it kind of disperse. Okay, so instead we'll just put it on by hand and towel, since I brought some towels out here. And then we'll check our dipstick. We'll let it sit for a minute. So I'll try to pour some of it on first like we were doing earlier, but not too much, you know? Just soap and water, so it'll be fine to pour on most parts. Especially it's just the dash cover too. Or not the dash, but the cover, so. Soap and water. I was just gonna spray it on, have it sit, but with this we can't really have it sit. It's just gonna be poured on. But it should still work. Make sure you got all the corners of it. Looks a lot better. You might have to do a redo that because the first layer gets all the dirt off. And the second one will get all the other dirt that got left, all the swipes. Check our dipstick. Guess we can wipe it this time. See what it's reading. Full. So it's reading about full. Oh, just like before. Oops. That on this side and this side. So we'd assume that it's fine. But we'll check it again in the morning, see how it looks. See, it did sort of stain this. Now this is gonna need some stronger stuff than soap and water. Probably some like, you know, plastic cleaner stuff. But yeah, this is what I was worried about. That's why I wanted to clean it fast. I didn't get to it fast enough. And yeah, it just spreads. So luckily I know some stuff will cover that later. Comes the closing, you know, let's say you took that thing off. So that thing's off, your thing is loose. What I usually do is I just set it down here, make sure it's locked, and then I'll usually just press it down, wait for the click. If I don't hear a click, let's say I press it in, I'll just sit on it just like that, and sit, and sit. That'll usually do it too. This in your trunk. So you're gonna get this in your trunk. And yes, the car does need to be cleaned, and so does the trunk. But we're gonna throw that in there, just so you have it. Hey, just keep an eye on that. You know, every gas fill up, I would say, or at least once a month, if you can. Just to check on the oil level, you know, because if I didn't, I had just gotten my oil changed 3 days ago, and that's why I'm making this video, because it's bone dry, and it wouldn't be bone dry like that unless I checked it. So I could have been one motor down again. But yeah, so again, soapy water usually works for most things, but today, you know what? It might be gone by the morning. It may take a second to dry. I might have not had the soapy water sit long enough. But we got all this off. Yeah, so good luck with that. Again, you can use any oil like that. Just make sure it fits your car's specs. Like mine, I said it was a little bit different. My car is 5W. I'm putting in 10. Just because, you know, it's a rebuilt engine and... you know, they're gonna consume oil a lot more just by being a rebuilt or not being, you know, from the manufacturer. They're not gonna be as perfect, but they'll still be better than what you had. Which either could have been no engine or whatever, but yeah, so keep an eye on that. I'm gonna be checking it in the morning. We'll see how that does. Good night.